To everyone who hates when I win, I can only hope that despite my flaws, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Rachel Zegler went completely off after Snow White got banned. She showed up to her movie premiere with a handful of loyal friends, probably hoping for cheers and flashing cameras, but getting echoing silence and a sea of empty red velvet seats instead. Now, what's wilder is that we didn't need TMZ to catch this mess. No, her friend Ilda gave us front row Instagram coverage. We saw it all. Rachel laughing awkwardly when her name popped up on screen, cheering for herself like she was trying to fill in for the crowd that didn't show. And then came that moment. Rachel and her friends pulling a little stunt at the theater, all smiles, trying to make the most of it. They walk up to the counter with a playful 2 tickets, please. The employee, totally unsuspecting, asks a simple question. What followed was, well, let's just say the energy shifted. Their themed merch said one thing, but the vibes completely different.
Please?
For which movie?
Box office numbers? Girl, tragic. Thursday previews raked in a mere $3.5 million. The opening weekend barely scratched $43 million. For a movie that cost over $250 million just to make, that's not even close to their target. For context, The Little Mermaid had a $95 million opening. Even Dumbo, sweet confused elephant that he is, outperformed this disaster, and he didn't even get a collectible popcorn bucket. Naturally, the internet did not let it slide. Social media exploded with empty theater seating charts, photos of solo audience members looking like they got stood up, and jokes that Disney could start a GoFundMe to recoup losses. Harsh? Maybe. Hilarious? Unfortunately, yes.
2 p.m. Now seating. Let's see how empty it is. I hope it's off the woke we go. I hope. Sound like I hear a couple of people. One, two.
As this cinematic ship sank, an old Rachel clip floated back up from the depths of the internet ocean. Before we dive into it, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. As you can see, she's all impassioned and poetic, convinced the world would always show up for her, flaws, cracks, and all. But fast forward to today, and the only lines forming are online, and they're not exactly for support. Then came the dragging. Critics, fans, meme accounts, even Disney folks started getting spicy. Ian Miles Chong reposted the infamous clip announcing that Snow White had officially become Disney's lowest performing live-action remake in decades. And as if things weren't messy enough, things got a little crazy behind the scenes. Turns out, Zegler got caught in a PR storm. Allegedly, execs were already side-eyeing her after she made, let's say, colorful comments about the original Snow White. But instead of telling her to dial it down, they just hoped for the best?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. And
that strategy did not work. One particularly jaw-dropping moment, Zegler on stage at Disney's D23 event, smiling, charming, and then suddenly dropping a political bomb in her speech.
Trump supporters, no peace. Take a look at that. She says, another 4 years of hatred. I'm here with you to cry, to yell, to hug. May Trump supporters and Trump voters never know peace. That's her message. Disney apparently made her apologize for this. What do you think?
And now, Jonah Platt, son of Mark Platt, one of the film's producers, called Rachel out. Jonah hopped onto Instagram, dropped a now deleted truth bomb, and dragged Rachel hard. But here's what's so crazy. Rachel didn't back off, at least not at first. That post stayed up for a while. Meanwhile, tension with co-star Gal Gadot was bubbling faster than a cauldron in an evil queen's lair.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
They may have smiled for the cameras, but behind the scenes, not so much. After an awkward joint Oscars appearance, Zegler seemingly took a dig at Gadot on Instagram, calling her a pageant queen in a reply. Classy. But the situation was more than just passive-aggressive shade. It was serious. Especially after Zegler made political posts that didn't sit well with Gadot, who, as you probably know, is Israeli and served in the military. Insiders say things spiraled quickly. Gadot reportedly faced safety threats, and Disney had to step in with extra security.
We would see people not condemning Hamas, but celebrating, justifying, and cheering on a massacre of Jews.
Rachel didn't fully understand the ripple effects of her post, not just for herself, but for Gal, for the crew, and for the movie's entire future. Disney desperately trying to stop the bleeding. And guess what their brilliant fix was? Hiring a social media expert to vet every single post Rachel made leading up to the release. And then, just before the film's official release, Rachel posted a gushy, over-the-top Instagram tribute to the entire crew she worked with. Everyone got a shout-out, except Gal Gadot.
And to make movies, but I love it so much because I get to see you guys. And I'm really, really thankful that so many of you have been with us for 3 summers, and if you were here for 2 or just back for this one, you're part of such an important family to me. And this has been such a hard, wonderful journey, and I'm so thankful to have been on it with you all. So thank you.
Now sure, could have been an innocent oversight. Totally. But let's be honest. Considering the Oscars shade and their political divide, it smelled more like a subtle snub than a mistake. Especially since people were already clocking that Rachel and Gal were on totally different pages. Personally, professionally, and definitely politically.
As well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of hers. That is just so appealing and so special.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
In interviews, Rachel admitted she became a trending topic for all the wrong reasons. And it didn't help when she called the original Snow White plot weird.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Then there's the Seven Dwarfs debacle. You didn't think we'd skip that, right? Peter Dinklage kicked off the backlash, slamming Disney for being progressive with casting by still telling a story about 7 dwarves living in a cave.
Because right now there's more dwarves on this podcast than there are in the new Snow White movie. And that's probably due to Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. Instead of hiring actors with dwarfism, they replaced them with photorealistic, kinda creepy digital creations. Fans weren't impressed. The backlash was immediate. People called it out for being both performative and tone-deaf, progressive while sidelining actual representation. Now we've got a fairy tale that tried so hard to modernize itself that it ended up erasing the very groups it was claiming to uplift. So, now the real question is, where did it all go sideways? Was it the casting, the commentary, the politics, or just everything at once? Whatever it was, this wasn't just a flop. It was a full-blown fairy tale fiasco with Rachel Zegler smack in the middle.